You're not getting your phone back. I didn't say I was gonna give it back to you. Holding onto the phone like this, and she's like, give it back to me. And I'm like, no. Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hi, my name is Alexis Jayda and welcome. Today's notification goes out to the Jasmine experience. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for your comment. Thank you so much. I love you so much. When I read your comment, I was like, thank you. Your guys' words are seriously just amazing and really lift me up. So thank you so much for taking the time to comment and show me love. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. Te quiero mucho. Thank you so much. If you want to be part of the notification squad, all you have to do is just like this video, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment down below, and you can possibly be my next notification shout out. All right, loves. So if you guys did not catch my live here on YouTube, I went live, I believe it was on a Sunday, and we just got to chismear and we kind of figured out a schedule. So I will be uploading story times on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Unfortunately, I missed this Wednesday because my kids are online and they're doing testing, so I have to take them to the place and then bring them back. And you guys know I have 5 babies that are in school, so it's just a lot of going on, and I totally spaced Wednesday's upload, and I am so freaking sorry. So I'm going to try my hardest to stick to that schedule of Wednesdays and Saturdays for story times. So the other days I will probably throw in like a random video for you guys, makeup get ready, a mukbang. You guys really like the mukbang, and that made me so freaking happy. Thank you so freaking much. And I will be trying to go live on Facebook as much as I can. So make sure to catch me on there, because I will definitely be, you know, doing more giveaways on there and just communicating with you guys and just spending more time with you guys, because I feel like you guys do like makeup tutorials, but I feel like it's more story time vibe here. So y'all let me know. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But anyways, so that's gonna be the schedule. So I'm so excited. Bing, chicka bing, 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 chicka bing. I love you guys so freaking much. Feels so good today. If you're not having a good day, please take some of my vibes, please, and let me take away some of your bad vibes and just throw them away, because when you're trying to keep them either, just throw them away, just. I hope you guys feel better. So let's just get right back into it. So this is going to be continuing on my Nanny series. I have a Nanny series playlist, and I tell you guys all the crazy that I went through when I worked as a nanny. I have a playlist. Make sure you guys watch them. I have to go back and put 1, 2, 3, but the playlist has them in order. So make sure to check them out if you want to know what's going on and all that good stuff. So let me know what you guys are driving, what you guys are doing, who you guys with, what are you cooking, what are you cleaning. I love to know. And if you guys are recreating any of the looks that I am doing, please make sure to tag me so I can repost you on my Instagram. I got this. This is from ColourPop. Sweet as can be. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Like, look how freaking cute. Mira. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. So I want to play with that palette. So we're going to be continuing. And before we start, I'm going to light a candle. Smells so good. This is milk and honey. I didn't cut it because I know a lot of people are like, you have to cut it before you light it, but I didn't. And I'm just gonna place this here because we need some good vibes in here. Just oosha. I would like to put it up there, but we're gonna burn it. So anyways, everything I will be using will be linked down below. Make sure you guys check that out so you guys can see what products I'm using, all that good stuff. And let's begin. So me and this freaking puta sucia are fighting over my phone. I'm literally going like this, and I keep telling her, if I hit you, it's not my fault. If I hit you, it's not my fault. If I hit you, because homegirl's pregnant and she knows what she's doing. I feel like she purposely wanted me to accidentally hit her, so purposely accidentally, so that she can tell everyone like, oh my gosh, she hit me, so she can like get the sympathy card, because this girl loved attention. Okay, loved any sort of attention. Anytime she would have like any sort of pain with the pregnancy, she'd be like, oh my goodness, oh, I don't feel so good, and she would get attention and be like, oh, like, what do you need, you know, because that's just what you want to do. You want to be loving, caring, all that stuff when someone is carrying, especially because you don't want them to have any stress, right? So I keep telling her, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want anything bad to happen. No one wants that juju. God forbid something were to happen, because that's scary. She just keeps yelling at me, telling me, give it to me ahorita, ahorita, like screaming in my face. And I was low-key scared. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was scared because she is an adult. It's her word against mine. People already think I'm a problem child because of the situation that my mom's going through and how I'm already in a relationship. And a lot of people did not give me the benefit of the doubt and just automatically chalked it up as I was just a bad kid. And it sucked because you don't want to have that. It's like you already have like a mancha of like, that's what you are. It doesn't matter the situation, that's just what you are. You know, a mancha is a mark. So you're just like, So we're still screaming. Sam is screaming at her, like, just leave her alone. Like, what's wrong with you? And I noticed Baltimore flashed her a look that just seems like, I don't know, something was up. She just gave her a look of a, like that, okay? And I caught it. I caught it with the quickness because I'm very observant with that kind of stuff. And it might be like, I maybe think too much because I have been told that a lot. But the people that do tell me, like, you think too much, are the ones who are doing some shady shit. So it was just kind of like, I didn't want to like overthink it, but I was like, I felt like these two are up to something. They're up to something and I don't like it. I don't like it. So they flash each other that look and I'm sitting there with my phone like this. As they give each other that little glimpse of a, very little, but I caught it. Your girl caught it. So we're still yelling and I'm telling her, I'm not going to give you my phone. I'm not going to give you my phone. Leave me alone. I'm not going to give you my phone. I don't feel safe. Leave me alone. I don't feel safe. And I keep just like repeating these words just because sometimes people just need to hear it, that they don't feel safe and they kind of like feel stupid sometimes and they'll back off. Other times people don't give a damn and they'll continue to go, or they'll try to gaslight you like, what are you talking about? And it just, sometimes it can go either way. So I keep telling her those things. I keep repeating it like if it's a freaking witch chant. I don't feel safe. Leave me alone. I don't feel safe. Leave me alone. I don't feel safe. Leave me alone. And I just keep saying it and saying it. And she just gives me a big, vas a ver, eh? Vas a ver. So she's telling me like, watch, just watch. And I tell her, okay, watch what? This is my property. Cállate. Shut up with those words. Shut up. Cállate. So just tell me, shut that up. And so I shut up because I don't know what she's capable of. I don't know what she's capable of. Like, she crazy. Like, how are you gonna be fighting somebody over their own property and you're pregnant? Like, how are you going to justify that to anybody? Tell me, I'll wait. You can't, bitch. So I'm just like, and I look at Sam and Sam's just like, and then Sam wants to say, so are we done? So I can go upstairs. I just stay quiet because I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even want to say yes. And then the bitch come and like attack me. So I just stay quiet. And so she just makes her merry way upstairs. And she's just like, I don't want to be bothered. I'm busy. I'm going through something right now. I don't want no one knocking on my door at all. Me, again, with my overthinking, I'm like, why does she have to announce that? You know, like when someone's trying to be sneaky, they always give themselves away. Every single time. Like, the more you want to just like blend in with the background, the more you can't because you're just making it so obvious. So I make note of that. I'm like, okay, she doesn't want anyone to bug her because she's going through something. Hell, Sam, we're all going through. I'm over here fighting the sister wife over here. Like, give me some slack, something. Like, I felt like it was constantly never have your guard down, Lex, because they are just going to run through you. So Baltimore kind of just like walks away and she really over here huffing and puffing like she like really was fighting. Like, and I'm just like, okay, like she is crazy. Like, she is crazy. Like, I already knew she was crazy, but it's another kind of thing. It's another type of feeling when they keep doing crazy stuff and you keep getting surprised. Like, when you have a crazy person in your life and they keep surprising you, stay on your tippy toes, because those people are scary. You never know what their next move is. And you think that, okay, you know their type of crazy. No, you don't. No, you don't, because they will constantly surprise you because they get bored of even their own triggers. So stay alert, please. Anyways, so she's over there huffing and puffing, and I don't even want to put my phone like away to the side. I don't want to even let go. It has a gorilla grip on this phone because I am so scared that if I loosen my hands just a little bit, then that's it. It's done. My phone is gone. So I'm like holding onto my phone pretty tight, and I'm just watching her, and she's just over there breathing, and I'm like mimicking her breaths a little bit because I'm like, because it is just so weird, and I'm trying so hard not to like think bad, because in a lot of these situations I think really horrible, okay? And that's just me being real with you guys. And I hate it because I've always been really superstitious about those kind of things. I don't think evil because evil things will happen. You don't want to manifest it. You don't want people to think of you like that, so don't do that. It's just one of those things, like, I believe in doing, if you do something bad, it is going to come back and bite you in your ass. And if it happens to skip you, it's going to get a loved one. So even me thinking bad, I would constantly kind of like feel bad. Sometimes, okay? Sometimes I feel bad. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I would just have to like fight with myself. So I kind of probably look weird going like I'm over here like just looking like a tweaker, you know? And I notice that the breathing stops. So you can hear her going, okay? You can imagine her. You can see her pacing back and forth, breathing heavy. And you're over here just trying to like, you know, fix your thoughts. And then it's just dead silence. Silence where it becomes like spooky silence where you're just like, hello? Because it's scary, y'all. It really is scary. Like, I don't care what anybody says, or they're like, no, that's not, I'm not scared. Yes, thank goodness you have not been introduced to a psycho person, but it really is scary. And my mom crazy, so I know there's different levels to this shit, but I feel like this bitch, she was one of those where you don't know what her next move is. She's so nice sometimes where you want to believe that like that is truly who she is. And where someone is pretty, I know that's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, it has nothing to do with it, but it's kind of like a mind thing, right? Where like someone is pretty, you think like they cannot be that evil. Baby, the devil himself was an angel. Just because someone is like beautiful or they're like, ooh, you know what I mean? That they can't have an ugly personality. So it's silence. And I am so scared to look up because this whole time I can like see her pacing in my peripheral, right? Going back and forth, heavy breathing, heavy breathing. I'm over here trying to focus my thoughts and my demons. And I'm just like holding on to my phone and it just goes silent. And I'm so scared to look up because I'm so scared. I know it sounds dramatic that what if I see something evil? Like, what if I see something evil? Because that's just how scared I was in the moment, whereas like I don't know her next move. And you never know when someone is just going to snap. You never know. Like, who really is looking out here for me? Who? Did Tommy do what she said she was gonna do and call whatever and come look for me? No. Do you think the ex was like, you know what, that was a sketchy call. Let me call the police. No. Do you think my mom was, you know, thinking like all this crazy stuff was happening? No. Do you think, oh, where's your dad? Where's your dad? Nowhere, bitch. You don't have one, okay? And my brothers were too small. So who the hell is looking out for me? Who? So in situations like that, I would like get really scared because I would just be like, okay, just say you're sorry. Just say you're sorry. You know it's your fault. Just say you're sorry. Even though it was not my fault at all. I did nothing. She's just a weird bitch. You go into survival mode of like, what am I gonna do next? So I'm like really scared to look up because I'm really thinking I'm going to see like a freaking gremlin. So I just keep my eyes low. And I just kind of focus on my breathing and kind of like bring it down a little bit more. And I'm like so scared to even let my eyes wander just a little bit because I don't want to make eye contact with her because I'm like, she feels probably insulted. And I feel like when people are this angry, they want blood. Like they want blood. I feel like every time I'm like, I feel like I always have to over explain myself because I feel like I'm going to offend somebody and I did not mean to. I'm just trying to talk and not offend. I feel like this is just me speaking from Baltimore. In Baltimore with all these tantrums with me, I feel like it was a lot easier for me to kind of get over them sometimes because I already knew how to like roll with the punches because of my toxic environment and my mom, you know, my mom is bipolar and like just different family members, and like it was easier for me to get over versus people around Baltimore would be like, no, don't come over here and come talking to me like you got me fucked up, like I'm gonna stay mad. No, I can't go from 1 to 10. No, get the fuck out of my face. And it'd be really easy for me just to like roll with it because I knew how she was. But in this incident, I knew that she was not done. Like she was not done, and she wanted to inflict something, do something, because that's how upset she was. Like it's just, I just knew it. I felt like I already knew the situation, all of it. And it fucking sucks because I feel like in a way I was like trained early on how to deal with situations like this, and it sucks, y'all. It sucks how you notice these type of things. Like I was around friends and we would, you know, hang out with somebody and like someone would be acting a certain way, and I feel like I was always like the mom or the one who would like calm the situation, and other people would be like scared and people would feel bad for them and be like, oh, don't be scared. But I knew if I were to act scared, I wouldn't get that same treatment. If so, I felt like I was always on guard. I always had to be so forgiving and just so everything, because like if I would act offended or if I would act a certain way, I couldn't get away with acting like that because why? You knew better, Lex. Holy, it's like therapy for me. Sorry, y'all. People are like, get to the fucking point right now. So I'm scared because I know, again, she's not done. She is not done. Like I just know it. I feel like Sam knew it too, low key, but she just wanted to save herself because that's just how Sam is. Sam is just like that. She don't get, she is just like that. So I finally look up and she is just looking at me and it looks scary, y'all. Like she is just, it's scary where I just put my phone to the side because I'm like, like I'm just scared. I put my phone to the side. I don't even touch it because that's how scared I was, you guys. I was so scared that something was gonna pop off and this was gonna be her reason of just snapping. Just snapping. So I put my phone to the side and she looks at me and she goes, come here. And so I get up because I'm like, I don't know what she's gonna do. I know you guys are probably screaming. This is like probably the part in the scary movie, like run, run. And when you're in situations like that, sometimes you're not thinking of to run. And it's just, I don't know. It's just hard to explain. It's hard to justify why I did certain things or why I felt like I was saving myself. So anyways, I get up and I go over to her and she tells me, dime por qué, tell me why. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like waiting, and I really think this bitch forgot her lines. I really think, because she was like, tell me why. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, tell me why. She says it again. You're like this. But I'm gonna do it to myself how she did it, okay? Why? You're like this. And like puts her fingers on my fucking forehead. And as she has them right here, I go, don't fucking touch me, Baltimore. Don't touch me. So I go like that because I'm pissed. Like, who the fuck think you are, bitch? Like, I am willing to die now because now you just poked my forehead and I'm really huge. I don't put your finger in my face when we're arguing. I don't care if it's like my forehead is not right. Don't put your finger in my face, bitch. Don't put your finger in my face. I've always seen it as that being very disrespectful, and I've never done it to other people unless like I'm ready for a fight. So to me, like those are fighting words, even though it's like your sign language saying something, bitch. So don't do it. I go like that and she's like, and she snatches my hand, okay? So she snatches my hand and I go like that and I'm like, yeah, like I'm done. That's it, I can't. I'm like, you have no right to touch me. No right to touch me. What the f is wrong with you? We're like screaming and I'm like telling her, and we're like lots of movements, okay? Her phone starts to ring, okay? ringing, okay? And it just literally feels like my heart is in my ears. Everything is throbbing, okay? My ears, my chest, my gut, todo, my butthole, everything. And I am literally scared because I'm like, okay, this is it. This is it. This is it. The phone starts ringing. And we're just like looking at each other. It was kind of like someone blew the whistle as like in, like, you know, people were gonna go at it. And we just stopped. It was like an unspoken rule of like just stopping. So the phone is ringing and ringing and ringing. My adrenaline is so hard where I tell her, so what? ¿Qué vas a hacer? What are you going to do? Huh? And so I'm just telling her that because my adrenaline is high. Where it's just like, I wanted her to low-key slap me so this feeling, it could just like go away, or she could just be done with, like just, yeah, already, because I'm so fed up of constantly feeling like I'm being punked on. So she tells me, shut up, shut up. And we see the phone and it's Mrs. Peach. It didn't even dawn on me that these motherfuckers are watching in the camera. She gets on the phone, she's like, hello, and they start screaming. I'm guessing because all I hear is beep, 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 like that, right? So that's all I hear. As she's doing her little argument, I go back to the couch, pick up my phone, go outside, and I slam that motherfucker hard, where I was hoping that she would come outside and yell at me just because I was still mad. And it felt like I kind of needed that phone call to happen, her to grab me, for us to get kind of like, you know, crazy with each other, for me to feel like, Alexis, you can leave. Like, it's okay, you can leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It was just weird. It was just like I got snapped back into reality that like it's okay. And I felt like that call kept her busy. So like I did leave and now I feel like I could. I don't know how to tell you. Like the protection spell like came on. I don't know. So I leave. I slam that door hard. Like crazy hard. I don't even know how to demonstrate it, where it was just like, just know it was hard, okay? As I'm walking out, I'm like, fuck this. I don't know what Mr. Peach and Mrs. Peach told her. I don't, but I know it was them because I seen the phone and it was like, them, ding ding bitch. So I call the ex, hey, this crazy stuff was happening. I can meet up. He's like, oh, so now you can. So he wants a whole explanation of like why all of a sudden now I can hang out. He feels like I'm lying. He thinks that I was just with somebody else and I was just trying to come up with a good lie. And I'm like, what? No, like it's just drama. Like I can't just leave. So the way his mom and his family acted, they let that motherfucker go and come whenever he wanted. They did so much shady shit, him and his mom, like shady, where it's like, he could have done time for the stuff that he was doing because she allowed it and she even profited off of it. So it really made me mad, like anytime that like I couldn't just pick up and leave, because like, why not? And like he really made me feel like I had to act up sometimes because no one gave a fuck about him and he expected me to like be able to move like this. And a lot of times I would risk a lot of things just because I wasn't moving fast enough and he like expected me to move fast for him. If that makes sense. So we kind of go back and forth, bickering at one another, and I'm just like, I just couldn't. Like, what are you like? She took my phone, and so I'm like telling him she took my phone, and he's like, what? Why didn't you just get it back? Like, I don't understand. I'm like, what? And it really pisses me off when I would be in these situations where like the adult would overpower me, of course, and he'd be like, I wouldn't have let that. I wouldn't have allowed that. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Someone straight up pulled your bangs and you didn't do nothing. I spoke up for you. I'm the one who had the balls. You didn't do shit. You just sat there with your cockroach bangs and let the motherfucker pull on them. So shut up. Ugh, it pisses me off. It pisses me off when people, I would never. Yes, you would. Shut up right now. Fuck. Oh. I get so mad. Let me smell that candle. Come on. So eventually all of our back and forth, and I ask him like, so are you gonna come get me or like what's going on? Because I don't want to be there. I don't want to go back inside and be like, hello, because I already know that she's still at 100. So he's like, yeah, I'll pick you up. So my ass walks to the nearest gas station. When I tell you, I don't know where these freaking balls were coming from, where at times I felt very confident in walking at night, like no one was gonna get me. And then there was other times I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared, someone walk with me because I'm gonna die. I don't know why. I don't know where it flicks on. I don't know if it's the adrenaline or what, but if you tell me to walk somewhere at night, ahorita, no way, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You got a death wish? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just such a scaredy cat now. Like I can't. For what? For who? Can I Uber that here? Uber Eats? No, I'm not walking anywhere at dark. So if anyone's like, oh, she took a late night. No, she didn't. I did not take a late night walk. Ni nada. Okay. You know what they should have came out with? ColourPop. They should have came out with a Winnie the Pooh face or a beehive mirror. I'm telling y'all, ColourPop, hire me and we can make a lot of things together. Okay. We can. We really can. Anyways, so I go to the gas station. He picks me up. And we don't even talk about what happened. We just start hanging out and driving around, talking, just about like dumb stuff. We had good times, but it does not mean that you should stay in a relationship with somebody just because you have some good times. If it's toxic, it's toxic. It does not matter how you try to color the turd and make it pretty. If it's still a turd, it's still a turd. Okay, it does not matter how you dress it up. If you spray your perfume on it, it still smells like shit. So don't try to disguise it and be like, no, I can't smell nothing. Well, we can smell it. It's a toxic relationship. Wrong is wrong. Don't put your hands on each other. There should be no violence, none of that. And it doesn't even have to be physical. It could be mental. If it's toxic, it's toxic. Stop trying to justify it. If you try to justify, you will tolerate anything. Don't. Just don't. So we're out late. Like I'm telling you, late. Where there's not even that many cars driving on the road. It's late. So we pull over to a certain spot that we normally go to get privacy. Okay, and you already know what happens. Tell me why we get into an argument because I can't perform, and I don't even know if that's even the right word. I can't continue because it hurts. It's not supposed to hurt. And for the longest, I thought it was supposed to hurt. I already explained that to you guys where I was like, oh, like that's normal. You know, it's not normal. So I couldn't perform because it hurt. And I kept making these faces of like, of pain. Like you know when someone's making a pain, we're like, ooh, that hurts, you know? And they don't really have to tell you, ow, that hurts. You just know, ooh, that hurts, you know? So I'm making these faces and he just gets off, pulls up his stuff and says, I'm so annoyed that you do that shit. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like it just really hurts. I don't know how many times I would have this conversation and telling him like it hurts, I don't know why, and he would honestly make me feel like it was me. It wouldn't hurt all the time, y'all, like if I'm being TMI and I'm being really real with you, it wouldn't hurt all the time, but 90% of the time it hurt. So it feels so embarrassing even to say that shit. So it's embarrassing to even say this part, but y'all are my babes. My babes. He proceeds to say, the other ones don't complain. Now it wasn't even registering because like I swear sometimes like my brain was just like pendeja. And I'm like, always, this man always had me on tippy toes. And sometimes I say boy because you guys are like, so was he a man or was he a boy? He's a boy. He had me on my tippy toes so much where before I would even sometimes talk back, I would rethink like, is this going to get him mad? Fix how you say it first, because if you say it wrong, he's going to get offended. And what if you're just overthinking something and he's like, what? I didn't mean it like that. Like, why are you like this? Why are you like that? So I always try to fix, not always, sometimes, how I would reply because it would lead to an argument, and then it'd be my fault because even though it came out of his mouth, how dare you react like that and make me upset? How dare you have feelings? So I gotta make sure that I don't mess up this night because God forbid I have a backbone for myself. It offends him and shortens him more. So I tell him, like, the other ones, like, what are you, like, before me, or like, what are you talking about? And he just like looks at me and he just goes, no one else complains but you. Like, you're the only one who complains. Like, oh, it hurts. Oh, this, oh, that. And I tell him, like, well, maybe they're lying to you, or maybe they just like you more. Because he insulting me and my girl. Like, he's insulting both of us. So I tell him that and he goes, okay. We kind of just sit there for a moment, and I know he is not completely satisfied because he would have went to the front already. You know, he would have been like, I'm mad, and went to the front. So I already know, like, okay, it's not over just yet. So we kind of just both sit there and it's just awkward. A lot of those times when we would sit in silence, I would just go to my la la land. And I always would just think about my future and how things were going to be different. I was going to fall in love with somebody, and I wouldn't constantly feel like there was somebody else, or he was telling me that there was other people. This isn't what's supposed to be. And I was just going to be happy. I would always go to La La Land. Always, always, always. And I wasn't trying to think about the situation with Mrs. Peach and Mr. Peach in Baltimore. I just wanted to just live in my La La Land for a minute. So I'm just in my La La Land, and he attempts to try again. This time I just put like a straight face, don't make any noise at all, and I just start to cover my face so that my face doesn't upset him. A lot of these times when my body would do this, I felt so disgusted with myself that I felt like hot showers weren't enough to take this feeling away of just feeling so numb. He finishes and we both go into the front, and he kind of just smiles. I smile back because little Lex was so, I know you guys hate when I say it, but so dumb, so dumb. And I would tell myself even at the moment, like, you're so pathetic, Lex. So he tells me if I wanted to go to 7-Eleven, you know, get anything before he drops me off. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, fuck, I have to get dropped back off. Like, we're going to fight some more. And she's going to be like, where did you go? But I didn't think anything of it because Mr. Peach or Mrs. Peach hadn't wrote me or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, I should be in the clear because they know that Baltimore messed up and it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if anything, hopefully they're talking to homegirl, like, you need to put down and stop, because you can't be putting your hands on people. Like, who are you? Like, who the fuck you think you are? So we stop at 7-Eleven. We get some snacks, and then boom, as I'm going to put the snacks into my bag, I'm like, my bag is gone. 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 And so I don't even want to like start telling him anything, because I don't want him to be like, okay, it's always something. It's always something. We can never just be chill because it's always something. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, because I have stuff in my purse, my bag. Well, I'll call it my purse, my bag. And I don't want her to go through it. I don't want her anything. So I'm kind of like, okay, like trying to like rush our conversation, rush anything that, you know, we're doing so that I can just hurry and get back. So he tells me, like, where do you want me to drop you off? And I'm like, you can drop me off right here, because I didn't want him to pull up straight to her house. I didn't want any of that. And he wasn't even, he don't care. You think he cared? Like, oh, I want to make sure you get to the door safe. He don't give a fuck, y'all. He don't give a fuck. So I get dropped off. I walk and the door's locked. So I'm like, I already knew that was gonna happen. So the door's locked, and I text Sam like, hey, can you open the door? She's not answering. I call her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be another thing. We are going to fight all over. So I start to bang on that door like crazy. Because I have nowhere else to go. Like, I have nowhere else to go sleep. It's not like if he's like, oh, things are crazy, stay with me, I'll take care of you. No, 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 no. What is this? So I start to bink. And then finally Sam calls me and she's like, hey, I'll be done in a minute. I'm like, okay, cool. So she opens the door and she's like telling me, so like, how'd it go? And I'm like, good. She's like, oh, nice. And I'm like, yeah, why are you acting weird? Just wondering. And I'm like, okay. And so I asked her, like, where's Baltimore? She's like, she went upstairs, she's already sleeping. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I walk in and I go to the restroom and I notice that Sam is just kind of like following me a little bit. And I ask her, I'm like, hey, like, what's up or what? And she's like, nothing. I just wanted to make sure that you're good and stuff. Like, you know, everything went good. Like, you met up with, she said his name. I'm like, yeah, like, who else? I don't know. I'm like, why are you acting weird? Like, you're like starting to piss me off. I'm not. I'm just, what the this is why no one can care about you. I'm like, okay, like, you're weird. So I go into the guest bathroom and I am taking a shower. So as I'm taking a shower, I notice my phone keeps turning on because I put it on silent, so it means that messages are coming in. And I'm taking a shower. So at times when it was the ex, at times I would be like, oh my God, I have to respond right now. It'd be dripping wet. My phone would be all soaked and I had to reply. But I was like, he just shut me off. Like, we're fine. And I don't have to reply. Like, if anything, I could be like, oh, I fell asleep. So I'm just trying to justify like my own feelings. Well, okay, whatever, right? So I finally get out. I look at the text message and it is my ex. And he's saying, you good? And a light bulb just goes off in my head. Some of y'all clocked it before I even like sprinkled too much. Some of y'all clocked it. Some of y'all did. And so I put no. So I put no because I'm like, okay, they're talking. They're talking. They have to be talking. Sam and the ex. Because she was so avi. And why would he be asking me, you good? And I feel like where I didn't cheese me out with her, she probably thought, she knows. She knows. And I know she knows. I know she knows. So I say no, and I don't text anything more than that, because sometimes when we text a little bit too much, they'd be like, huh? So I didn't say anything more than that because it didn't need to be. And I wanted to see if he'd fall into the dumb trap. And he did. He tries to call. Ignore. Because why? He's trying to see how much I know. And this is a tip for you ladies when you're trying to catch your man's, your girlfriend, anybody, your friend, whatever. Don't give away too much. Don't give away too much, because they're trying to pick how much they know that you know so that it can fit what they gotta come up with as an excuse. Don't. I don't know how many times I hit the trigger before I even needed to, and it just gave them more time to lie. So I hit ignore. Ring, 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 ignore. Ring, 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 ignore. And then I hear, hey Lex, you good? Yeah. I say it like that because I'm like, okay, so if you're gonna play this game, I'm gonna play this game too. So and she's like, okay, just wanted to make sure you've been in a while. I'm like, okay. And the kids are sleeping, she's sleeping, Baltimore. And yeah, you're right. Like, you can just hear her voice shake. And the whole time I keep trying to think, like, are they sleeping together? Did you sleep with her? Did you sleep with her? Are you best friends with her? Tell me now. Are you best friends with her? Tell me now. Vibe. Ugh. So I already know, since he's trying to call, she's trying to knock on the door and check on me. Something's up. Something's up. Something's up. So I take my merry time coming out of that shower. I have the towel on me so long that I just dry standing. Because I'm trying to coach myself to not react without getting the facts. Don't react until you get the facts, because your poker face is just gonna be blown away. So I'm like, so I'm just trying to think, like, how can I just avoid her completely and just go to bed and leave him wondering. I'm holding on to the doorknob so that it doesn't make like any loud noise when I open the door, because I'm trying to be silent and I don't want her to know that I'm out. So I'll close the door. I'm like, close it down. And then I go into the room, lock that door, and get ready to go Mimi's. So I change all of that, lay down, and then he texts me again. Can I talk to you? And I'm like, no, just tell me what you need to. No, I need to hear your voice. No, just tell me what you need to tell me. Why are you acting like that? Why are you? We had such a fun night. Like, I don't know why you're trying to do this. Like, why is it always like this? Like, why can't I just talk to you? Because I don't want to wake anybody and I'm not going to be on the phone fighting with you. Why would we be fighting? I don't know. You tell me. So I'm just going back and forth, doing the same thing. You ever play someone at their own game and then you want to get upset? Like, aren't you supposed to know the answers, bitch? Aren't you the coach? So anyways, we're going back and forth and I knock out. Like, I knock out. Like, I'm just like so tired because he would wait. I know this sounds crazy, y'all. 5 to 6 minutes to reply. Maybe that's just how long it took my Cricket phone to get to his. I don't know. But it would always take 5 to 6 minutes. And the reason why that, like, I know that is because I timed this shit. Because I feel like he was purposely waiting for me to be like, hello, hello, hello. Because he got off on that shit. And I remember he told one time, I was in the car with his friend. And he told his friend and stuff, like, don't reply too quick because then you're going to look desperate. And I was like, oh, this mother. Because when I would like leave him and he would have to chase me, it didn't take no 5 to 6 minutes for him to reply to me. So make it make sense, please. Like, all of a sudden the phone wants to work. Okay, makes no damn sense. I passed out because he wanted me sitting here taking like decades to reply to me. So I pass out and then I wake up to someone just going boom, 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 boom on the door. Wake up, despiértate. I'm like, looking around like, here we go again. Here we go again. So I'm just sitting there in the bed looking at that fox with his hair all distressed because I'm like, oh, we didn't leave on good terms. Sam and my ex might be having an affair. Two best friends in a room. They might kiss. Yes, they will. So I get myself together before even looking at my phone because I already know. It's like one of those things where you're like trying to avoid because you already know that once you give any sort of attention to it, it is going to be an all-day thing. It is going to be your fault because that's just what they do. They always blame you. So I get ready and put on some clothes, go brush my teeth, get my day started. What sucks is that she woke me up and I didn't wake them up because I'm the one who was watching the kids. But where I was so tired, it's not a good excuse, my phone died, so my alarm didn't go off. So I'm already like, damn it, I messed up because she woke me up. I didn't wake her up. Oh my God, I'm not. So I make my way downstairs and I'm already gonna start breakfast and I notice that the kids are still sleeping. So I'm like, oh, okay, good. Like, good. They're still sleeping. They're not up, I'm up, she's up, and Sam's up. Okay, good. So I noticed her and Sam are getting ready. I guess they're gonna go do some shopping or do something, I don't know. And Sam tells me like, we'll be back. And I'm like, okay. She's like, are you good? You're good? And I'm like, yeah, Sam, I'm good. Like that. Cause again, I'm gonna play these motherfuckers. Am I gonna stay still? Yeah, but I still enjoy playing cat and mouse sometimes because I get bored and I don't have a lot of confidence. So it's just one of those things though that like the person never knows if you're bluffing. So they don't know, like, I don't want to push you too far because like, what if you don't come back? What if you don't come back? You know, what if I let her go and you don't come back? They leave and I finally look at my phone and it's him saying, can we talk? And I'm like, oh. So since they're gone, I'm going to, me and Baltimore don't even look at each other. So I'm like, okay. I call him and the first ring, hello? And I'm like, hey, what's up? You want me to call you? He's like, yeah, what's your deal? I'm like, I don't have a deal. What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, what's your deal? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. And he just tells me, we've only been talking. That's it. But why? He's like, it's just about you because I just want to, you know, make you happy. And she's just helping me out. We're not even cool like that. So that's, I don't believe you. No, I swear that's the only reason I'm messaging her. And I'm like, okay, well, I gotta go. And before I can even let him finish, I just hang up on him. They come back from shopping and I already have breakfast going, the kids are up and all of that, right? Sam puts some of the groceries on the counter and she looks at me and she says, we've only been talking about you. Like, that's it, that's all. Like, I know you probably don't believe me because like you're just one of those, but like I'm not like that. And I'm like, well, I used to be like that, but I'm trying to change. I feel like when people try to change, like no one ever wants to see them change. Like that's all like we're talking about. Like, people can be friends. Like, why don't you let people be friends? Like, guys can have friends and like girls can have friends too. Like, oh, like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm explaining myself to you. Like, I'm just not gonna talk to you at all. Like, I'm just gonna let you be. I didn't even get one word in before homegirl had the whole conversation with herself, pissed herself off, and then went upstairs. Baltimore tells me that she needs to talk to me. And I'm like, okay. So she tells me that after I'm done putting the groceries away that they just brought in, that she wants to talk to me. And I'm like, and I just tell her, just like that. Nothing more, nothing less. Just that. So I take my sweet time putting everything away, to the point where she even comes back and she's like, are you almost done yet? And I'm like, almost. Because I don't want to sit here and talk to her, so I'm gonna try and like do what I can to make her wait. What's the rush? What's the rush? What is it? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. So anyways, I'm taking my time, and then I pull the table out from the table. I pull the chair out from the table and I tell her, okay, I'm ready. And she's like, no, over here. And I was like, I'm already sitting here. Like, I'm ready. She probably was like, bitch. But there is a camera right there. So I knew that if anything's gonna pop off, it'd be right there. And now I feel safe all of a sudden with cameras. So she like looks at me and she's like, oh, you see, I try. You see? And I'm like, try what? So she comes closer and she tells me, I need to talk to you about yesterday. And I'm like, okay. ¿Estás enojada? And I'm like, yes. So that means like, are you still angry? Are you mad? No, todavía estás enojada. That means, are you still angry? But ¿estás enojada? Like, are you mad? So she says, todavía estás enojada. Are you still mad? And I'm like, sí. And she's like, okay. And it takes a long time to continue. And I'm like, okay, what? Okay, what, bitch? What the f am I supposed to do with an okay? So I am trying so hard, you guys. You guys don't have any idea how hard. So hard to be like, what do you want? What do you want from me? It's not that simple. It is, actually, it is. It really is. So anyways, she's just sitting there and I think she's trying to get her words correct of like how she wants to continue, right? So I'm just sitting there and she tells me, she says, cuando, so she says, when you're pregnant, and I already know where this is going. I'm like, oh my God, bitch. Oh my God, she's gonna blame the baby. How are you going to blame the baby? Like, how are you seriously going to blame the baby? Oh my God. So I smirk. Yeah, I smirk. I go, because I already know where it's going. I already know she's gonna blame the baby and try to justify it. And I hate when people do that. Just because you're pregnant does not, okay, yes, you're more emotional, but it does not give you an excuse to act like a damn bitch, okay? It doesn't. Especially like that. Like, oh, I would hate when she would do that. I kind of smirk. She's like, no. Escúchame. Listen to me. When you are pregnant, your emotions, everything. So she's just trying to get me to feel bad for her, that the reason why she acts like this is because she's pregnant, and to not be so hard on her because it's hard, and that she really does like me, and that she's sorry, she shouldn't have acted like that, and I was right. She had no reason, she had no right to take away anything of mine, and to just give her a chance, and that she's really good hinting, you know, she's really good people. And I'm just listening. I'm just like, I'm waiting for the full, like, I'm sorry. Like, don't blame your pregnancy. Just say, like, I'm sorry, you know? And she's just telling me, like, you know, I just need to be more understanding. understanding, and that when I have a baby, that she hopes that people are understanding because it's hard, and she's a single mom, and she's just like going off, and I'm really trying to just like tune her out the best I could, because I don't give a like, I don't care. I don't think that's a great excuse to put your hands on somebody. It's not. Don't ever try to justify it like that and be like, oh, it's because, no, that's not a good enough excuse. Don't put your hands on somebody. And if anything, it was a power trip that she was having. It wasn't like, oh, it was a power trip. You were upset, and no. So she continues to just talk my ear off, and it's so nasty because I feel like her and my ex-mother-in-law kind of had the same like, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. I don't care. I don't care. You do not treat people like that and then think that they're supposed to feel bad for you. Like, what's wrong with you? That's not how you apologize. When you are sorry, you don't say but. When you are sorry, you do not try to justify why you're such a person and, oh, because of this, and no, because of that. No. When you're sorry, it comes across, and you don't really have to say much. Like, the person just knows, okay? Like, it really pisses me off. The apologies that I got from these people aggravate my butthole so much, because it's just, it recognizes shit. And it wasn't real. Like, it just wasn't real. It was just, woe was me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Woe was me. That's always what it felt like. And they're always trying to justify why they are the way they are. We're like right by the table, and she reaches out her hand to grab my hand, and I don't give her my hand. She has so much bad juju that I don't even want it to be on me, like, at all. And she tells me like, Alexis, don't be like that. No seas cabrona, eh? So I'm like, I'm like, no, I'm not. And then she keeps telling me that I just need to understand that hopefully when I get pregnant and I mess up like that, and I'm like, no, that's not why. I'm like, that's just how you are. She's like, no, cierto. So we're going back and forth, and she gets annoyed because I'm not accepting her apology. She slams her hand on the table. Boom! You know what, ¿sabes qué? I'm not sorry. You know what, ¿sabes qué? Gente like you, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. And I'm like, okay. So I get up because I'm like, okay, you're not sorry, bitch. Like, that's fine. Ooh, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Pretty. So I'm like, okay. And I get up, and she goes, and like just walks away. And I'm like, I didn't do nothing to her. I didn't do nothing to her. I didn't. A lot of people have commented that I irk her demon. I really, honest to God, think I do. This doesn't work anymore. Because a lot of incidents like that, I'm like, I didn't do anything, and this lady would always try to make it seem like if it was me. Like, how? Like, how? Like, oh my gosh. Even when people would tell her, like, no, like, you don't do that to her. Like, she would get upset. And I would tell y'all, like, I have no problem telling y'all, you're like, I was being a little bitch. I've told you so many times, like, when I was being a little bitch, I have no problem telling you when I've been a little bitch, even though I was wrong or whatever. I have no problem, no problem. But I wasn't wrong in that incident. I was not wrong. So we continue the rest of the day, not even talking, not even looking at each other, nothing. I get occasional, like that, where she wants me to look at her, but I'm not going to look at her because I'm just not going to give her the attention that she needs. Like, I honestly felt like she was bored and she wanted to fight, and I don't want to deal with that. Like, I already have enough of going on with whatever I got going on, and I don't need her adding to my mix. I don't. So I don't want to deal with it. So I just finished up getting things ready, and I get something made for me from the babies. So I like to keep their drawings like in my bag. They bring me the drawing, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I love it. I'm gonna keep it forever. So I'm going back up to the room, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put it in my bag. Totally forgot that I had left it. Remember that I had left it, and I'm not thinking anything bad at all. I'm just happy I got a drawing, that I feel appreciated, you know, the kids. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You guys are so adorable. As I'm going to put it in my bag, I smell poop. My first thought was someone took a shit in my bag. Someone took a shit in my bag. Ooh, that's pretty. So I don't even want to go through it. You know how your instinct would probably just be to go through it? No, I flipped that bitch just in case. And as I flip it, it's an open diaper. And it's pretty packed with poop. It doesn't come to mind that like, oh, it's one of the kids. Because the kids wouldn't do that. So I am pissed, you guys. Pissed. Because I know this is the work of Voldemort. Because remember, she likes to play with poop. She likes to do it. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know what's wrong with her. So I scream her name. And I scream it ugly. She comes running up the stairs because you can hear her. And I tell her, why did you do this? ¿Qué? I didn't do that. Why did you do this? This isn't the first time you've done something stupid like this. Like, why do you do this? Why do you touch my stuff? I do not touch your stuff. Why do you do this? So we're yelling, going back and forth. And I'm like, yes, you do. Why do you do this? She's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You shit in my bag. She's like, I didn't shit in your bag. That's a dirty diaper. And I'm like, why did you do it? The kids, they wouldn't put it in there. So I'm chalking it up as you pooped in my stuff. So we're going back and forth, and she's like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do it, and you shouldn't be leaving your stuff out. I'm like, leaving my stuff out? It's in the room. Like, why did you even go through it? She's like, I didn't go through it. I'm like, yes, you did. The kids don't go through my stuff. Like, I know it was you. Like, the kids didn't. The kids, they, not like they knew better. I hate using that, like they knew better. But the kids did not go through it. Like, the kids did not. If the kids had a habit going through my stuff, then yeah, I would have chalked it up as like, fuck, I left my stuff out. They went through it. But that's the thing. The kids don't go through my stuff. So she keeps saying it. She keeps saying it. And she tells me, like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to go do? You want me to go discipline them? And I'm like, no. Like, it was you. I'm like, vas a pegar a los niños. You're going to hit the kids because it's something that you did? Ugh. And she tells me to stop because I'm on thin ice pretty much. And I just tell her, okay, yeah, vete. Please, just go. Just go. And so I'm disgusted because that is disgusting. That is disgusting. I hate that she likes to play with poop. I hate that's her kind of motto. Like, I hate it. It really sickens me. It really does, honest to God. I have to throw out my whole bag. If you guys know the story with the bag, you guys know why. It makes me a little emotional. So I threw out the bag and I am just livid. I'm livid. I walk around the house and I kind of have like a little attitude, and she's not telling me anything, and I'm waiting for her to tell me something because I feel like me being angry was justified, and I'm just waiting for her to say something stupid so I could be like, what? I just throw it all away. I'm emotional about it. I walk around the house with like a bitchy kind of attitude, not towards the kids, but of course there's Sam and Baltimore, because I'm like, the nerve y'all have. And so I continue the rest of the day. The day goes by. We don't talk at all. I throw in the load of my stuff that had poop on because it was disgusting, and I wash what I can, get everything ready. Everything goes back. The kids go to sleep, and I am just sitting there, and Baltimore asks me, Alexis, can we talk? And I'm like, again? She's like, yes, again. And I'm like, okay. So I go downstairs, and we're sitting on the couch, and the couch is pretty long, so she's sitting over here, I'm sitting over here. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to be near her. I don't want to be able to smell her breath. Nothing. So we sit there, and she asks me like, how much was my bag worth and the stuff that got ruined. And I tell her like $100, which I just threw the number out. It probably wasn't, but I just threw that number. So I was like, $100. She's like, so she tells me $100, and I'm like, yes, $100. She's like, no manches, Alexis, which means no way, Alexis. And I'm like, yes, $100. She's like, I don't think it was worth that. Maybe like 20. I'm like, 20? So we're going back and forth negotiating how much it is. And she's trying to like lowball me. So she ruins my clothes because now they're gonna smell like poop. And my backpack, like, bitch, what? And I had some other stuff in there. We're going back and forth, and she's like telling me like, no. And I'm like, mm-hmm. She's like, no. I'm like, yeah. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to bed. She's like, siéntate. We're not done talking about it. I'm like, okay. And so she tells me like that's how much it was worth. She's like telling me that she feels like I'm just trying to like weasel money out of her, and that I'm like scamming her. And I'm like, she's like, I'm not paying for the clothes that you're washing. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like telling me like, I don't feel comfortable. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Like, don't pay me anything then. And I get up and she's like, oh, siéntate, Alexis. I'll take you to go get stuff tomorrow, and let's see how much it goes up to. And I'm like, okay. She's like, okay, fine. I'm not gonna say sorry though, because it was not my fault. And I'm like, okay. You paying for it is you're saying sorry. And I go upstairs and she goes, oops. So I just smile. So that's the end of my story time, you guys. I was actually happy that she wanted to, you know, replace the stuff and give me a new backpack, because it was very just like, what the fuck? And I know she did it. I know she did it, because later on, like she admits that she did it and she thinks it's funny, and it's not. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching me. Te quiero mucho, you guys. Besos a todos. I hope you guys enjoyed today's story time. If you guys did, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already to keep updating my videos. And I'll see you guys in my next story time. Bye.